Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Hi guys, and welcome to another Fool of the Week. This week's Fool is Jonathan Gullis, or as I like to call him, the House of Commons hooligan. So Jonathan was on Tory-friendly Talk TV, speaking to the concrete farmer about the Conservative losses in 2 constituencies and the narrow hold in Boris Johnson's old one. Now, I've nominated him for Fool of the Week, but he could actually be a spy, yes, a spy for the Labour Party, as he gives the Tories the best advice possible to lose. Have a listen to this.
Well, that's right, because for Labour to only win one of the 3 by-elections, I would say is pretty poor. They can't be that happy inside the Labour Party headquarters this morning, can they?
Absolutely not. Like you say, if you look at national opinion polls, they should be sweeping the board. And actually what we saw in Somerton and Frome is that I think their vote went down by 10%.
Well, they lost their deposit, though, I think, didn't they?
Lost their deposit, like you say, and the Lib Dems, vice versa, in Selby as well. So actually I think this is
That's tactical voting. Do you not understand what tactical voting is? The Labour Party said to the Liberal Democrats, we're going to stand aside and allow you to win this seat. And the Liberal Democrats in the other constituency stood aside and allowed the Labour Party to win that seat. Like, the focus was to get the Tories out.
a real obvious sign here that actually Labour aren't on course to win some whopping majority. Ultimately, the Liberal Democrats are clearly outperforming them in certain parts of the country, and the Conservatives need to do as much as they can do to convince those voters who are currently sitting at home, because of course these by-elections were around 45%, I think it was on average, turnout, rather than the 60, 70% that we know would normally be in a general election. But we have to give them a reason to vote for us, Mike, because you've been banging on for a long time now. We need to get back to common sense. We need to make sure that we're actually stopping the boat. Of course,
the people who turned out and voted were not interested in boats. We're not interested in a green agenda. We're not interested in woke. They're interested in cost of living. And the Tories are not doing anything about the cost of living crisis.
We need to improve the economy, but we also need to be brave and bold. So we should be saying, or starting the process of saying we're scrapping the BBC licence fee. We should be willing...
This BBC licence fee. Like, on people's priority list, where the hell is that? I can't pay the bills, but I'm really going to vote for the Conservatives because they're considering scrapping the BBC licence fee.
To say in our manifesto it's time to withdraw from the ECHR because we shouldn't have courts in Strasbourg frustrating the will of this British democratically elected parliament.
Once again, people who can't feed themselves are not all that interested in the European Court of Human Rights. It's not... I wouldn't put it on the top 10 of their priorities. But once again, the House of Commons hooligan is saying to the Tories, you need to be focusing on woke, you need to be focusing on the green agenda, you need to be focusing on the European Court of Human Rights, you need to be focusing on things that have cost us votes at the moment.
We should be saying that when it comes to VAT on fuel or on green taxes on our energy bills, that they're going to be scrapped.
Which has pretty much no impact. The green levy has pretty much no impact on the cost that people are paying for their fuel. But once again, I'm convinced he's trying to help the Labour Party here. He wants the Tories to fail. Keep focusing on things that are not important to people.
Should be saying that if we're going to obviously go further in the North Sea and we're going to obviously use coal in our country rather than import it, because that's actually better for the environment than importing from Russia, China, or wherever else. And ultimately...
Once again, who the hell is talking about coal? Environmentalists are talking about coal, but the average person on the street isn't talking about coal. They're talking about not being able to heat their home. They're talking about not being able to feed their family. They're worried about their rent if they're in rented accommodation. They're worried about their mortgage if they have a mortgage on their house. These are the things people are concerned with. They're concerned about the NHS. Will I get a doctor's appointment? Will I have to pull my own teeth out because I can't get a dentist appointment?
We also need to be saying to people that we're going to continue on the levelling up agenda, which Boris Johnson won that decisive election victory on in place.
Okay. Going back to Boris Johnson, if we focus on Boris Johnson, that's going to win us the next election. Boris Johnson isn't even a member of Parliament. He's not even... Is he still a member of the Conservative Party? I don't know. But he's not a member of Parliament for the Tories. He's no longer the leader. Why the hell are you talking about Boris Johnson? Boris Johnson isn't going to win any elections. Even the ghost of Boris Johnson is not going to win any elections.
This is like Stoke-on-Trent. They've seen over £100 million worth of investment, which will make a huge change to our local area.
This is a man who's desperate. Now, I don't know. Look, at the beginning I said he's full of the week because he's talking nonsense. Then I suggested maybe he's a spy for the Labour Party. I don't know which it is, but he's not making a lot of sense here. And if he is making sense, it's to crush the Tories. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and I'll see you next time for our next Fool of the Week.